What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Monday, May 3rd. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, let me know in the comment section who is your favorite and least favorite of my contenders for today's slate. We are rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Mo Wagner, Cole Anthony, Sadiq Bey, Facundo Campazzo, and Bradley Beal on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites, my top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. Coming in at number 5, we're going to power forward and center eligible OSHAE BRISSETT. Been smashing as of late, 6,700 projected for 32.5. The goal's 44. He's in the optimal lineup 19% of the time. Now, the dual eligibility is incredibly helpful, but so are the minutes. I've got him in for 34 in the biggest pace-up spot Indiana can get to. This is the fastest team and the second fastest team in the league going head-to-head. They gain 4.9 possessions over their average. I've got him as a 0.96 fantasy point per minute guy, 16% usage, 14.5 points, 7.5 boards, one of each of the rest of the things except for 1.8 blocks. OSHAE BRISSETT is blocking some shots. The spot is great. Targeting Washington and Indiana is fantastic. There's so many possessions, biggest total on the slate. What more do you want? So long as he's in, this one looks good. Number 4, Alex Caruso. CARUSO, point guard, shooting guard eligible, and he's the flat minimum 3K. Played 26 minutes yesterday. I'm going to assume that he does the exact same thing again today with no Dennis Schroeder and potentially no LeBron James. Flat 3K, projected for 21. Goals just 29. He's in the optimal lineup 19% of the time. He's a 0.8-ish fantasy point per minute guy, 15% usage, 8 points, 3 boards, 4 assists, a steal, probably not a block, but cross your fingers. Matchup against Denver, who it's actually kind of decent for Caruso in that they're in their, 4th and 5th best guards at this point. It's Austin Rivers and Facundo Campazzo. Not that I don't like Campazzo, but I mean, it's different when it's Jamal Murray out there and Will Barton. And Gary Harris isn't here anymore. You got to get to Caruso if he's playing today. He should play north of 20 minutes. He's well worth the risk no matter what if he's in because he's $3,000. He's flat minimum. I don't know why he's the flat. He shouldn't have been the flat minimum anyway. Even just like 3,100 or 3,200 would have made more sense. Flat minimum Caruso today, no brainer. Speaking of no-brainers, we're paying up here all the way to point guard Russell Westbrook. He's 11K, projected for 58. The goal's 61. He's in the optimal lineup 20% of the time. You're getting the monster minutes out of Russ, 38 at a 1.53 fantasy point per minute rate, 32% usage, and he's projected for the triple-double, 26.5 points, almost 12 boards, 10 assists, plus a steal and a half, in a monster pace-up spot for the Wizards. They gain 3.6 possessions over their average. That's basically like 2 more fantasy points for Russell Westbrook. That's big-time stuff. He's well worth the pay up. This is the best spot you can find for Russ. No Miles Turner meeting him at the rim. It's way better when it's the bonus, and it doesn't really matter if it's Chikadze, not Chikadze, Bitadze. Chikadze is the MMA guy. Those names are so close. You should watch our MMA shows, by the way. Pete the Heat Rogers, Jason Floyd, breaking it all down every week. Anyway, Russell Westbrook is a premier pay-up option for this Monday slate. Number 2 on DraftKings, shooting guard and small forward eligible, and number 1 contender on FanDuel, Josh Jackson. He's 5,600, projected for 34. The goal's 39. He's in the optimal lineup 25% of the time. Normally, Josh Jackson would have been clearly the number 1 contender, but we've got someone that slips through the cracks for today. 32 minutes, 1.07 fantasy points per minute. I expect this matchup to be close against Orlando, so I think Josh Jackson gets the full run as the main creator for the team. 29% usage, 20 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, 2 stocks. Look, it's Orlando. You're not worried about Orlando at all. Are they better defensively than offensively? Yes, their offense is offensive. However, it's not like the defense is some sort of top-tier juggernaut. This team's just bad either way. So are the Pistons, for that matter. But Jackson's the guy that's going to steer the boat. And I think he's going to steer you to being a fantastic option because he's shooting guard, small forward, guard forward, utility. You get 5 different spots to put Jackson, and that is one of the most valuable things you could have. Now, before we get to that number 1 contender, one last reminder, like button, subscribe to the channel, notification bell, all of that good stuff. Then head to Twitter and follow me at Josh Engleman. It's the only place you'll get the updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock And then finally, let me know in the comment section underneath this video your favorite contender, your least favorite contender, and the guy that you think should be on this list that you do not see. And finally, the unquestioned #1 contender for today's slate, power forward center eligible Taj Gibson. He's 3,100, projected for 25. The goal's 29. He's in the optimal lineup 41% of the time. Nerlens Noel is doubtful, which means Taj Gibson is going to get played like it's 10 years ago. 32 minutes. I'm being incredibly pessimistic. 1.78 fantasy points per minute, 12% usage. That's 9 points, 8 boards, an assist, a steal, and a block. It's a pace-up spot for the Knicks against the Memphis Grizzlies, and you're not all that worried about Memphis in general. But here, we're getting the starting center for the Knicks, playing north of 30 minutes, $100 above the minimum, and you can put him in the power forward spot, which is massive. That also unlocks the forward spot as well. There's too much flexibility for Taj. There's a lot of flexibility for Alex Caruso as well, but Taj Gibson is the unquestioned #1 contender on DraftKings today. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Monday, May 3rd. Now, Process Show is in the books. Go watch that. FanDuel version of this video is around here somewhere. Strategy Show with Lofty at 10 a.m. PGA Contenders is getting recorded today. I don't know if it's released, but keep your eyes peeled for that one. And finally, I'm on Live Before Lock tonight with Greg Ehrenberg from 6 to 7. Good luck tonight, everybody. I will talk to you all again tomorrow morning for another edition of the Contenders.